Okay, let's do our gentle practice today. So feet hip width apart, toes straight ahead, sitting bones down, crown to the ceiling. Get those ribs in and up and lengthen through the spine and relax your shoulders. Spread out your toes, no gripping. Get the weight even on both feet. Reach up through the crown and don't forget to breathe. And just focus inward, drawing in that awareness with the energy, with your breath. Exhaling stress and tension. And I'll do our warm-ups. Inhale your arms to shoulder level. Exhale, hands to your heart. Stretch out to the front. And exhale the hands behind you. Clasp your fingers together, spread your toes, lift your heart. Stretch your head slightly back, but don't lift your chin too high, and then pivot over. Bring your hands up toward your head down toward your legs, and then circle your chin, making sure that neck is relaxing. Bend your knees slightly, work your way back all the way up, winding spine into a little back bend, lifting your heart. Stretch your head back and spread your toes out, and don't forget to breathe. And then inhale upright, release your arms. Take a moment there, just feel your spine warming up. Inhale, arms reaching out, hands to your heart, stretch to the front, and then clasp your hands the opposite way, so shift the fingers in one position over. Push your hands down, lift your heart. Stretch your spine and then exhale over. And again, come as deep into that as your body'd like, lifting your sitting bones for a stretch on your legs. Then bending your knees, work from the bottom of your spine, winding back up, and lift your heart. Stretching back just gently, but don't lift your chin too high. And inhale upright, releasing into mountain pose. Take a moment just breathing, spreading your toes out. Bring your arms to shoulder level, palms up, hands over your shoulders, and then clasp your hands overhead and bring your arms back by your ears. Stretch out through your head and lean to one side, no twist, and feel those ribs stretch apart. Push the foot you're leaning away from down and out through your head and fingertips. Make sure you're not leaning forward or backward, just getting that lateral motion. And then inhale up, keeping your shoulders down. Switch the other hand to the front. And again, arms by your ears, lean to the other side. Keep everything nice and straight, facing the front as you could deepen into that push with your foot. Push out through your hands and head. Really feel those ribs stretch. And then inhale back to the center and release into mountain pose. Take a moment feeling the sides a little bit more opened. And then open your spine for our twist. So remember, base of the skull, base of the spine, stretch apart. Arms again out, palms up, hands over your shoulders. Clasp your elbows, bring the arms by your ears, stretch your spine apart, and turn to the side. Spread your toes, keep the weight on both feet as evenly as you can, coming all the way over. So even though you're toward one side, keep the weight on both feet. Take a breath, lift your sitting bones, keep your arms by your ears. And again, on the inhalation, come up and lift your heart. Shoulders down, and just make sure that upper body is the back bend focus. Inhale upright, exhale around to the center and switch your arms. And again, stretch the spine apart, turn to the other side, and exhale over. And again, deepen as much as you like. Keep your arms next to your ears. Spread your toes out. Check that your legs are as straight as possible. And again, on an inhalation, when you're ready, work your way up into that upper body on the back. Remember, always gentle on your low back in these twists. Take a breath, keep your arms by your ears, stretch them back. And then inhale upright, exhale around to the center, arms up, shoulders down, extended mountain. Sink evenly into your feet, up through the crown, through your fingertips. And let's swan dive forward, chest leading, and then drop into ragdoll, just hanging. Hold your big toes and come into gorilla. So knees straight, elbows straight, and spine straight as you look toward the floor. And then exhale, releasing and winding up from the bottom to the top of your spine one more time. And back in mountain pose, just take a moment stretching things apart and a little extra twist in our windmill. So turn side to side, following your hands. Keep the head stretching up, shoulders down, and just going a little deeper at the end of the circuit each time, if that works for your spine. And then turn back to the center and our backstroke and swimming. So just in close to the ear with your arm as it comes up and around. And let that whole spine move as you're working around, using those shoulders and the whole body. And then both arms up, come stretching up on one side and come up on the opposite toe. So lifting that opposite heel. Push down through the foot, up through the fingers on the side. You're stretching, get those ribs apart. Come down on the exhalation, and then inhale again the other side. Maximize it to your extent, lifting the heel on that opposite foot. Stretch it out. And then both feet down, both arms up, clasp your hands and press them up toward the ceiling. And keep your arms by your ears. Pivot at your hips, come forward, push the sitting bones back, the head and hands forward, stretch it out. And then again, drop into ragdoll. Pull in deeper with your hands behind your leg, get a good stretch on that full back of your body. And then arms again to the front, and another wind up into mountain pose. Take a moment and breathe, feel your body. And then step your feet together and bend your knees toward but not beyond your toes. Hands above your knees. Remember, no pressure in your hands, just positioning. And then circling with your knees going toward but not beyond your toes. Feel the ankles and feet working along with the knees and the hips and the whole lower body. And then stop and go the other way with your circles. And again, make sure those knees don't go too far out. Just gently working those ankles, all the bones and muscles in your feet. Again, stop and look to the front, straighten your spine, and spread your toes. So we're going to come onto the ball of the foot and lift the heel. Spread the toes so you get good support coming into that little balance. Just find a spot to focus on. See how your balance is today. Breathe into it, lifting those heels just a little bit. And then roll back and forth on your heels and onto your toes. Work the whole bottom of your foot. Keep breathing. And then release and move your feet back hip width apart into mountain pose. And then clasping your arms behind your low back or bringing your fingertips up between your shoulder blades, palms together in that reverse prayer. We're going to just keep those shoulders even. Bend your knees toward, not beyond your toes, and big circles with your hips. Take a breath, just working it up. Exhale any tension. And then stop and go the other way. So big circles, moving those ankles. Remember, don't bring those knees beyond your toes. You don't want to ever overwork the knees. And then again, stopping, coming back to the middle, releasing your arms, coming back into mountain pose. Do a little balance. So lift the toes on your balance foot, either one, whichever you prefer to start with. Spread the toes out, but don't grip with them. That loses that ball of the foot support. So you want to make sure that that base of the toe area stays connected. Heel and knee and hip and shoulder all line up. And that core activates. So bring your ribs toward your spine and up, and the shoulders back and down, supporting your spine. Spread your toes, check your alignment, and bring the other leg up. Bring it as far toward your heart as it wants to go. Find your stability, and then work your ankle. So just circle it around both ways, making sure it's nice and flexible. And then flex and point to straighten everything out as you bring that foot back down. Transfer what worked to that opposite foot. Remember, spreading the toes out, not gripping, aligning the bones, activating the core, relaxing the shoulders, or reaching the head up and bringing the other foot, when you're ready, up toward your heart. You can keep it close to the floor or not, always your choice. And again, circle your ankle when you're stable. Get it working, nice and flexible. Breathe into it and release. Take a breath, exhaling any balance stress, and bring your arms out to shoulder level. Turn the palms up and spread your fingers out. Keep the arms shoulder level and make circles with your hands. So big circles to start with, up toward your head and down. Circling it around, fingers reaching out. And then stop, turn the palms down and circle the other way. So big circles again, and just releasing gently. And then stopping, arms right at shoulder level. Shoulder blades toward your waist, sitting bones toward the floor, crown toward the ceiling. Stretch it out. And then keep the hips over your ankles and push your hand to one side. Feel that stretch on the opposite side. And back to the center. Over to the other side. Again, hips staying right above your ankles. Push it out. And back to the center. Stretch it out. And release. Feel those shoulders, lots of circulation there. Maybe circle them back and down a couple of times as you're relaxing. Arms at your side and hands to your heart. Inhale, follow the hands going up toward the ceiling and bring the thumbs back behind you as you lift your heart. Swan dive over, all the way down into ragdoll. Hands up on your knees, under your shins, stretch and straighten everything. So elbows, knees, spine straight. Tucking that chin a little bit, stretch your neck. And then bend your knees, exhale, come to the floor. Child pose transition, as always. Just sink your hips back toward your heels. Hands, palms up by your feet. And then bring your forehead down toward the floor. Take a breath or two. Let your shoulders relax. Feel the stretch. And then inhale, sitting up on your heels, and let's come into a cross-legged position. So we're creatures of habit, remember, so switch your legs around so you're not habitually crossed. Get those sitting bones behind you. Activate your core, shoulders above your hips, crown to the ceiling, stretch it up, and we're going to work the neck a little bit. So take a moment, stretching up through the crown, and then bring your chin into your throat center, the notch at the base of your throat. Take a moment and breathe. Keep the rest of your spine straight, and then bring your hands one at a time, just the weight of them, not pressure, on the back of your head. Feel that stretch, maybe intensify a little bit, but don't push. That causes resistance. We don't want to resist. It won't stretch as easily. Just exhale, relax, deepen into it as much as your head and neck want. And then release your hands, tip your head back upright, lift your chin slightly, clasp your hands, your fingers together, and then shift them one position over non-habitually. It feels weird, that's okay. Bring your hands behind your head, elbows right out at shoulder level, and then push your head back into your hands. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, again, just let that head sink back. Chin slightly lifting, but remember, not too much. Don't clench your neck. Breathe into it. Let that whole back go into a little bit of a back bend as you exhale. Breathe in, heart lifting. Exhaling. Letting the head drop into your hands. Elbows stay straight out from your ears. Just breathe. Relaxing. And then bring your chin slightly toward your chest, releasing your arms back to your sides. And let's switch our legs around and stretch our necks a little bit more. So bring your head over toward one side, letting the opposite side of your neck get a good gentle stretch. Exhale any tension. The hand you're tipping toward, direction you're tipping toward, bring that hand up to the outside of your head and let the stretch intensify a little bit more, but don't push with your hand. Remember, just a little extra weight. Make sure you're not leaning your forehead forward or the back of your head back, just straight over toward your shoulder. Take the other hand down to the floor if you want a little extra stretch. Push it down. But don't do that if that's already enough stretch for you. Take a breath or two, just relaxing in the stretch. And then releasing your hands, tip your head back upright. Take a moment to notice the difference on the two sides and bring your opposite ear over to the other side. And again, feel that stretch start on the other shoulder and neck. Bring your hand up you're tipping toward, just onto the outside of your head. Do not push. Just add a little weight. Breathe. Make sure you're not leaning forward or back with your head, just straight ear toward your shoulder. Keep both shoulders relaxed. If you want to bring the other hand down to the floor, that'll maximize a little bit more intensity, but don't overdo it. Breathe into it. Just relax as much as you can. Exhale. And when you're ready, release both hands. Tip your head upright. And of course, you can hold those positions longer on your own, but for now, bring your legs all the way out to the front into staff position. So sitting bones behind you, core active, ribs in and up to support that low back, shoulders right above your hips, crown to the ceiling, and make sure that your backs of your knees are relaxing down as much as they can. Press out through your heels and pull your toes back. Feel the whole length of your leg. And we're going to work our hips as always with that gentle warm up foot to the thigh on the other leg, just letting that knee come down toward the floor. If that's feeling tight in that outside of your hip or your leg, you can bring this other foot out to the side, but remember, knee and toes stay up. Hip relaxing, knee coming down as far as it wants to. You can add the weight of your hands on your leg if you'd like, but don't force it. No pressure, no tensing and tightening of the muscles. Just let them relax. Exhale, let the knee come even further down if it's ready to. And then put the knee in your hands or wrap your arms around, pull the leg in, and work that outside of your hip, the rotator, getting it flexible and lubricated and warmed up. Exhale any tension. Keep it there or make it more intense with the leg higher or closer if you love it. Keep your shoulders relaxing, crown to the ceiling, core still activated. Don't forget to breathe. So many things to remember. And then release that leg And again, just notice the two different sides, how they feel. We've got to balance. So bring the other foot up to your thigh, knee coming down toward the foot. Again, relax it. Bring this leg over to the side if you're running on this leg to do a little extra release. And again, weight of your hands, no pressure. Just let that knee come toward the floor however much it wants as you relax. Take a breath. Just release any tension. Shoulders above your hips, crown reaching to the ceiling, core still activated, and breath full and deep. Don't forget, just let that knee relax. And then again, coming up with your knee and foot in your hands or pulling the leg closer, rotate it side to side, getting that rotator joint releasing a little bit more. Warm it up just as much as it wants to. Be gentle, stay there, or go a little more intensely. It's your choice. Yoga is always a personal practice. And then exhale, release, bring the leg out. And again, notice how those hips are a little warmer. And then feet together, heels in toward your hips, knees out toward the sides. Let them drop toward the floor as much as they want today. Notice if maybe today is a tight day. And then bring your hands right under your shoulders behind you. A little pressure in your hands and maybe lift your heart and drop your shoulders. So take a breath, feel those knees, maybe come closer down toward the floor. Whatever works for your body, but don't force anything. If you prefer, you can just keep those hands on your knees with a little extra weight, but remember, no pressure, just relaxing. And then releasing your hands back to the front, lift your knees and extend into step. And bring your feet to the end of the mat. Sitting bones under you, or active, shoulders up and crown to the ceiling. Or for support as you roll from staff position down onto your back. Use that belly for support as you come all the way down. Bring your hands to T position, palms up or down. We'll just do that little bent knee twist today. So sitting bones towards your heels, press your back gently down, heels right near your sitting bones. Feet flat. Press the back gently into the floor as you lift your feet, knees right above your hips. Exhale, roll the knees over right at hip level toward the floor. They don't need to go all the way, just as far as your hips and legs want to go today. Turn your head the opposite direction toward the hand on the floor behind you. Keep your shoulders down, middle back twist. Head turning for the neck area, and just let those knees come down as much as they want for that low back twist. Take a few breaths here, just relax it. If you're loving it and you want a little more back intensity, your knees up toward your elbow or your feet out toward your hand on that side. Head still turned toward the opposite arm. Exhale any tension wherever you are. And then if your heels are up, bring them back toward your hips, roll onto your back, and get ready, of course, to twist to the opposite side. Knees down toward the floor, pillow if you need it. Turn your head the opposite direction. And again, just relax the shoulders down, deepen into that twist in all the areas that you might need it. Just breathing and relaxing, letting those knees come as far toward the floor as they're willing to do. If you're loving it and you want even more, remember you can bring the knees up toward your elbow or extend those feet out toward your hand. Take a breath, keep the head turning toward the opposite arm, and don't forget to keep those shoulders down on the floor. Take a breath. Just relax it. And then again, bring your heels back toward your hips, roll onto your back, feet to the floor, slide them out, and come into corpse position for our relaxation. Deep breath in Hands palms up, shoulders down, toes together, and then just let your legs relax. Leave your head side to side, releasing your neck, your chin, your jaw. Just deepen, exhaling, letting everything release and relax, deepening into that surface beneath you for that earth support, softening your body. Breathe, letting your belly move. Exhale, just let it sink even further into that earth support, relaxing completely. Now, as your body relaxes, just let your mind release awareness of your body and just keep releasing into that earth support. As your body relaxes, just let your mind release as well, allowing the thoughts to float away without attention. You need to focus on the past or anticipate the future. Just let the thoughts float in and out without any attention, floating away as easily as your breath without awareness. Body relaxing, mind just drifting. Allow your awareness to release your body and your mind. Focus inward, just follow that peace within, deepening into the awareness of peace and only peace for a few moments. But you're patient. It's really good. Just keep on relaxing as long as you can. So it's time to get ready for the rest of your day. Begin moving your body just gently, breathing more deeply, drawing energy and awareness with the breath back to the moment, to the room, to your body. Move your body gently, however feels good for you, circling your toes, your ankles, feet, your hands, your arms, whatever feels right. And of course, when you're ready for your final yoga hug of appreciation, your sitting bones toward your heels, back gently down. Draw your heels toward your hips and your knees up toward your heart. Wrap your arms around. Give yourself that appreciative yoga hug. Let your body know you appreciate its yoga work today and the work your body does for you every day. And when you're ready to release, bring your head and feet to the floor. Breathe deep, and as you exhale, roll to the side and sit back up, getting ready for whatever's ahead for you today. Thanks for joining me.